Hey folks, Gwei. The other day, a couple of things happened actually. So this talk is going to be based on something that I read in the comments, and it's going to be based on an article that I read anyway, the bottom line is somebody at one point said, I could have turned this off the minute I heard those blasphemous Marxist talking points about pronouns. So some of my videos, I offer, my morning videos generally, I offer my pronouns. This is how I prefer to be spoken of. He, him, his. For what it's worth, there's nothing blasphemous about that. I'm not denying God anything. I'm not calling God something that God is not. I'm simply saying these are my preferences. I prefer to be called he, or she, or they. I prefer to be called Ed, or Reverend Ed, or Reverend Smarty Pants, whatever you prefer. But these are my preferences. This is my choice, and I'm simply letting the world know this is my choice. It could be argued that, well, but God made you a certain way, and you're claiming to be something else. I know that God made me. I know that God made me a certain way. I'm well aware of how God made me. That's between God and I. And therefore, these are my pronouns, he, him, and his. But it was the word Marxist that I really wanted to talk about today, because it wasn't like 2 hours later that I read an article about how Marxism, it was an opinion piece on CBN News. And it was an opinion piece about how Marxism is going to destroy America, how it's going to destroy Western civilization. Because there's so many people out there in the world, in our societies, in our nations, that want to adopt Marxism as our way, as our economic system. And that it's going to ruin it. It's going to ruin what we have, because it's going to take away this, and it's going to take away that, and it's going to take away the other thing. Now, I'm not an expert in Marxism or communism or socialism or capitalism. So I'm not going to tell you this is why Marxism's good or this is why Marxism's bad. I'm not in a place to do that. But the article that I read, in line with the comment that I received, it struck me that Marxism is something that many people are afraid of. And so they're attacking the notion of Marxism. They're attacking what Marxism supposedly is, or at least is in their opinion. Whether that opinion's informed or not is, again, something else. If you want to have a conversation about Marxism, please feel free to do it in the comments. Again, it's not my expertise. Bottom line here is that the article, as that comment, was attacking the notion of Marxism. But it wasn't actually addressing what's really going on. You see, the people in the world that are saying we need to go to a socialist system or a Marxist system, or we need to stay with a capitalist system, or we need to find a hybrid of some of these things and put them all together, they're not saying that just out of the blue. They're offering these ideas as possible solutions to the problems that they see in their world. They're offering these concepts, these ideas, as solutions to the experiences that they are having, to the negative experiences that they're having in their life in this world. They're offering it as a possible solution to the struggles that they and their friends and their family and their communities all experience. And it's not one or two or a dozen people. We're talking about millions and millions and millions of people who are struggling. Right? In our world today, the middle class is shrinking. And it's not because we're making so many millionaires and so many billionaires. We're not. It's because the number of people that are struggling day to day with their finances, with money, the lack of money. The number of people that are struggling to put groceries in their cupboards, foods on the table, to pay their rent, to pay their utilities, put gas in their vehicle, pay their insurances, heaven forbid to go see a dentist or a doctor, That number is growing. There are more and more and more of those people in our nations. The statistics don't lie on this. So the possibility of Marxism for some people does seem like a good possibility. It seems like a good idea. But it only seems like a good idea because where they are is incredibly problematic. It is incredibly difficult. The life they are currently leading is not one of abundance that capitalism promised. And just for the record, Jesus comes along and Jesus offers this message. But if Jesus had come along and he offers a message of salvation and he offers a message of a new way of being in relationship with God, that message goes completely unheard, no matter how many miracles he performs, no matter how much work he does. His message goes completely unheard if the people of his time, of his day, the people of his region, of his world, if they're happy with the way things currently are, if they are happy with the way the religious leaders are leading them, his message goes completely unheeded if they are not experiencing problems. If the community, if the society, if the culture is not experiencing problems, his message is useless if it isn't solving a problem that people are having, that a good number of people are experiencing. So when we hear that somebody is offering Marxism or somebody wants to bring in socialism, if all we do is attack what they are offering as their solution, then we are absolutely missing the point. We are not addressing the actual problem that they are hoping to solve. I have no idea, literally, I have no idea what Marxism would do to my country. I don't know if it would be good or if it would be bad. I know a little bit about Richard Marx. His music seems fine. I don't think I'd want to base... No, I'm kidding. But I do know a little bit about Karl Marx. I know that his writings came from his own personal struggles. And that his writings, his ideas, were things that he was offering as potential solutions to what the people of his day and age, the people of his financial situation were experiencing. We need to be listening to what the people in our community are offering us. We need to be listening not only to the solutions that they offer, but we need to be listening to the reasons they feel the need to even offer a solution. We need to hear what they are telling us is the problem. This is the way forward. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord's face be made to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord's countenance be lifted up to you. May you always know the peace of being in the Lord's presence. I pray that our ears and our hearts and our minds would be open when people speak, when people share, when people tell us what's going on in their life. I pray that we would be inquisitive enough that when they offer a solution, we would be willing not only to listen, but to explore, to ask questions, to discern. I pray that our hearts would be big enough that when somebody tells us they're experiencing the troubles they're experiencing, that we'd be willing to be there with them. Amen. De multis.